He has horns too.
Hi everybody, welcome to episode 38 of Satellite 664. I'm one of your three co-hosts, Kaz Tag Yan, and as always I'm joined by my mate Paul Lindop in the home of Iron Maiden in London town, and the Viking is with us tonight, the Danish, the Viking man, the Norseman, Rasmus Stansborg. How are you, gentlemen?
All good, thank you. Yeah.
Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone safe and sound in their homes after I suppose the last month and a bit. Some great shows, great tour. Raz, you and I got to catch up in Sydney and Auckland, and it was just a fantastic time. As I've said, probably one of my favourite tour. This one. For many years, without being, without exaggerating or being over dramatic. For me, it's one of the best tours in 30 years that I've seen. I mean, the set list is incredible. The stage show is fantastic. It just brings the whole Summer in Time show to life. And having spoken to quite a few people who saw the original Summer on Tour in 86, 87, and Paul, you'd be someone who'd definitely be able to back this up. As magnificent as that tour was, back 38 years ago, basically the show was built around props, whereas today we've got digital screens, and they were able to bring that sort of futuristic Blade Runner Tokyo to life. They were able to embellish the Heaven Can Wait gunfight, which they did back then, but they just had so much more technology behind it. It was just all round fantastic. I don't know about you guys, I can't get enough of this tour personally, but it's just something else. So Rasmus, what do I do? Do I go to Montreal? What do I do? Tell me, oh wise counsel, what do I do?
Hey, if you can get the time off, of course you go. That's the rule.
That's the rule. That's the rule. There we go. I'm gonna tell all my detractors that. That's the rule. So, and
your wife will understand.
Oh, she's
especially if you invite her. So
sorry.
Your wife will understand, especially if you invite her to the gig.
I've invited her. I just don't think she can get the time off. But we can work on all that.
Then you go. One is better than nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And after mid-November, we just don't know when, if ever, we're going to hear some of these songs ever again. Caught Summer in Time, Stranger, Alexander the Great, which for me probably actually was the zenith of those sort of 2 hours. Really, I loved it. And the Senjutsu stuff. I mean, you hear a lot of people walking out of a few people walking out of the arenas complaining that they do too many new songs, but I love it. I love Hell on Earth, love it all. So, and next year, were you guys surprised that they announced a new tour just 8 shows into the current tour?
Yes. Oh. Yeah, I just didn't see that coming at all.
It's unprecedented, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought they'd wait till December. Yeah.
So I think there was a lot of rumors about they would announce it. So when it came, it's like, yeah, of course. While I was on an airplane from Australia to Dubai, so I had a great time in the Dubai airport waiting for my flight to Denmark, sitting reading new tour, and yeah, time went fast. That was great.
So I mean, we're just sort of speculating as fans, but why? Why so early into a tour, which let's be honest, it's heavily sold out this year's tour, the Future Past 2024, but it's not completely sold out. So, so why announce
this? Is it because this tour is at the moment so popular that you jump on the bandwagon now announce it now while everybody's still sort of hyped for this tour, and see how it goes. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. If they do it after the tour,
and we know next year
there's
a lot going on next year. So yeah, but we know something is going to happen, right? We'll see what it will be, but of course they will celebrate in some kind of way. And I think even the band are surprised that they sold out so many shows already into one tour and just announcing a new tour, and they just keep selling out. It's incredible.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
And
a friend of mine. Sorry, go on.
Go on.
A friend of mine just couldn't believe it. He just said, "How is this nearly sold out already?" He's known the band.
I think as of today,
40 years.
Yeah. I think as of today, London Stadium, which is probably one of the slowest selling shows, even that is almost gone. I think as of today, there's 1,400 tickets left in a stadium.
Like that, yeah.
In a stadium with a capacity of 62,000, and there's only 1,400
Yeah, but
left.
I think that's 62,000 for football. I think for a concert it can be up to 80. I think at London.
Oh, you're right.
So,
yes, correct. Yeah, you're right. So,
and that would be their biggest outdoor solo show, wouldn't it? Apart from obviously like Download, which is not their own show, but Twickenham, it'll be bigger than Twickenham, and yeah, it's gone mad. I don't know. I think it's just the popularity at the moment of what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording this Sunday, October 6th, and as of today, I believe there's less than 1,400 tickets left. So if that capacity is going to be 75,000, the show is almost gone in their hometown. It's mind-blowing. And then you've got Copenhagen. Your hometown, Raz, sold out. Paris sold out. Lisbon sold out. Madrid, massive stadium, 70,000, sold out almost.
Yeah.
Very, very, very close.
I think
Sweden, they too sold out.
Yeah, Sweden sold out. Stockholm sold out. I mean, we could go on. I think Italy and Vienna are still kind of like the slow ones, but even Italy is doing really, really well 9 months out. So, yeah, look, my theories about why they've announced so soon, I think, is maybe because there's so many stadium shows on next year's tour, they wanted to give it the time it needs to sell out. But as you said, I think even they're surprised at just how fast it's all gone. And also to the fact that it's a 50-year anniversary, which I think gives it that extra impetus. And it's going to be what I guess a lot of us think going to be largely a classic set. So it's going to be a lot of rock fans, a lot of casual fans, what I call a lot of theatre goers, not necessarily hardcore Maiden fans. So I think you put all those things together, and in my humble opinion, I think that's why the tour's gone so crazy. The ticket sales have gone so crazy.
Do we think that being selfish here, as fans that we are, do we think that the classics? I know that it's there for the casual fan and the people who haven't been for years and years or never been and would know that stuff. Are we being selfish and thinking, could we have something else? Some deep cuts, please? And not the classics, do you know what I mean?
100%. I think it's something we've all been thinking about, and even on the forum we've been talking about. Paul, you've brought it to the forum. Tell it. What's your opinion? What do you think? What's your gut feeling?
I think it'd be a mixture. I think it'd be a mixture of the classics and the odd curveball in there. I think to please us old gits who want it, or stuff we've not heard for years, or stuff we've never heard. You know, off the top of my head, Killers. Love to hear that again. Still Life. Love to hear that again. To Tame the Land. You know, I've only ever heard that once. That was 40 odd years ago.
41 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. So just stuff like that, or even things like Only the Good Die Young that they never played on the 7th tour, you know, that'd be great to hear live. That'd be a cracking song. But are we just being selfish, you know? We know you're going to get Iron Maiden, you know you're going to get probably Helen Beaver and a Number the Beast you could probably get. Runs His Hills, you might get because of the tour, what he's named. You know, The Trooper, you're probably going to get again.
100%.
But, you know, that's just us being selfish, isn't it? You know, okay, we've heard it so many times between us, but someone else who hasn't might think, oh, why didn't they play that? I don't know this song they're playing. What is this one? But, again, you know, as I said, that's probably us just being selfish. But there's nothing we can do. It doesn't matter what they do, does it, really? People are going to moan. We all moan, don't we?
Exactly.
Nope.
Everybody moans. Everybody's got to moan.
Happy. They could play
You're not gonna-
12
gonna
times
please
Black
everybody.
Bart Blues and we'll be happy.
I'd love to hear Black Bart Blues 12 times.
Maybe not 12 times, but
Well,
But
what do you think,
it
Raz?
doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter what they do. No one, you're not going to please everybody. Right?
no, that's for sure.
What do you think, Raz? What do you think the set list? What's your gut feeling about the set list?
Right now, I just know they will play Iron Maiden and they will play Fear the Dark. We know those two are certain. But they have not played the Number of the Beast this tour, so they're probably going to put that back in. I'm hoping for Rhyme again, if they have to play something they know how to play. But then I hope they will play, like Paul said, something we have never heard before that will just be... You saw how happy people were them playing Alexander the Great. It's like people were crying at the first show. It's they should do a couple of those.
Yeah.
Something we have never heard. Back in the Village.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crash of the Blade, something like that. Yeah. Open with Tail Gunner, something like, or Be Quick or Be Dead, or something like that as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Surprise us.
go back to 1990 or 92, open with one of those. It'd be great, you know.
And
Wow.
both those were great openers. I mean,
Excellent, yeah.
Be Quick or Be Dead was probably one of the best openers I've personally been at a show and heard. It was
Yeah.
blistering.
I'd put that up there with Aces High and Moonchild as a real cracking opening song. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mm.
Look, Paul, just going back to what you said, I think, classics is a very broad term, right? So a lot of the songs that we haven't heard in a long, long time, which used to be played back in the old days routinely, regularly, technically, I mean, are still favourite classics. So, for example, you mentioned a couple before. I mean, Killers, Phantom of the Opera, 22 Acacia Avenue.
Oh, yeah, got to play that.
That I sincerely hope they play that. I've never heard that live. I know you have.
Oh, I have, yeah.
A couple of times, but I've never heard it live. It's in my top 5 favourite Maiden songs. There's all these songs, Infinite Dreams. The list goes on and on and on. Songs that were played a lot back in the old days and are classics, but they just haven't played them in well over 30 years. So,
but Infinite Dreams was rehearsed, wasn't it, for the Maiden England tour? But they just didn't put it in. I can't remember why. It didn't sound right or something. But they should have played it then.
Well, I mean, with all respect to Bruce, were there any reason? Was there possibly any issues with his vocals at all?
I don't know. I just remember someone said of someone, right, it just didn't sound right, so they didn't put it in the end. But it was rehearsed. It should have been played, but it wasn't. But there you go. Let's hope they bang it in next year.
I mean, look, when you put the artwork together, when you put some of the audio from the promos together, I think Killers, Phantom of the Opera, Run to the Hills, and Iron Maiden are probably certainties. It's, I don't know what else is cryptic hiding in those promos, but I mean, you could speculate about those all day. My gut feeling is it'll be, the real sort of overplayed favourites.
Yeah,
heavy on those.
You're going to get controversial, aren't they, and say they're going to play it safe a lot of it.
I think they will. I mean, this is a stadium show. Then they're certainly not going to come and play something obscure that no one's heard before or haven't heard in a long time. But I think Phantom of the Opera for me is going to be a nice one. I've not heard that before live. If we get 22 Acacia Avenue, I'll be super happy. But look, I think it'll be 2 minutes, Trooper.
You're going to be super happy anyway.
Yes,
we get Iron Maiden live, and hey, how lucky are we?
Yeah, you just got to be thankful they're still going, haven't we?
Yeah, and this
to me, I can sit here and say this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, I don't really care what they play, as long as I'm there to see it.
It's at that point, isn't it? It's really got to that where we are so lucky to have this band still touring, and not just dragging their feet, but really performing at a high standard.
Yeah, and a friend of mine yesterday said he's not a fan, but he said to me yesterday, he said, "I saw an advert. I can't believe it's 50 years next year, and they're still selling out arenas and stadiums and touring as much as they are." I said, "Well, yeah, they are. It is what it is at the moment." And like I said, we've got to be grateful that it's still going, and we just get on with it and take every day, as a gift, really.
Every show is a gift. Every single show is a gift. Every single show is something to be treasured, really, because with I suppose the band's age. Not that they're old, because they're not. They're actually very, very fit. They're healthier and fitter than the average 65-year-old on the street. They really are. So
it's true what you say, but still, it's easy for them to sit down and put a set list together, but they have to rehearse it and see if it works, right?
Yeah.
And we know, as you say, they are getting older, so some songs can be pretty hard for them to play, and maybe they will skip them if they think they don't work, right? So, it's easy to just put a cool set list together, but going into rehearsal with that's another issue, right? So
do we think, going back to the set list, do we think that there's some sort of speculation that they'll do 2 songs from each album of the 9 albums?
Well, we've got an hour, 1 hour 40 minutes. Actually, no, we've got 1 hour 50 minutes. So the shows go for 1 hour 50. On average, we get 17 songs. We've already, so I suppose 1982 we'll get the obvious 2, Run to the Hills and Beast. Then you got we got Killers off the first album, clearly Iron Maiden. No, some people think Remember Tomorrow will be played, but I don't know. Personally, I'd like to see it. I can't see it. Revelations, Trooper. 2 Minutes to Midnight, maybe Rhyme.
That's all right. I don't think they'll play Rhyme tomorrow.
It's too long. It's too long.
I think they'll just. I think to be honest, on Power Slave, I think they'll play it. So
I was going to say
85, 2 Minutes to Midnight. I think.
Yeah, Power Slave and 2 minutes. Summer in Time's an interesting one. We've effectively had a Summer in Time tour for the last 2 years.
So we'll get Loneliness for the Longest in Time and Deja Vu then.
I hope so. Actually, Deja Vu is the only song off that album that's never been played live, ever. So there's only one song. If we get Deja Vu live, then between Belgrade 86, then the rest of the 86-87 tour and this tour, we will have all... Sorry?
The flag without...
Oh, the flag? Is that a sign?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want to put it up? Do you want to put it up again?
No, it's fine.
So yeah,
it sounds like you have something you really like this Somewhere in Time album.
Yes. What gives you that? What gives that away?
Since you're so happy if they play the last 2 songs, I'm like, maybe because we almost have a Somewhere in Time tour, maybe they only play 1 song from that album or none.
Or skip it, yeah.
I think that's a very reasonable suggestion, and I agree with you. I think there's absolutely room for them to skip it because they've got, so much. They've got 12 years of albums to cover.
Yeah.
They don't need to play anything off Summer in Time at all.
Because they've just done it for the last 2 years,
They've
haven't
done
they?
it for the last 2 years. They played, 5 out of the 8 songs. Their stage show was pretty much, or the bulk of it was Somewhere in Time. I mean, they really don't need to play anything off that album. And I wouldn't be disappointed, to be honest, because then, as you said, Paul, then we get into some interesting things. We can have room for Tail Gunner, Holy Smoke, Be Quick or Be Dead. Some really interesting stuff. Only the Good Die Young, if they decide to play it. But it's like I said, we could speculate for hours, and we won't know. But I think we've got the I suppose the general meat and potatoes of the set list. I think, which is not hard to speculate.
What do you think about the stage show?
Well, Steve did an interview recently, and he said it's going to be very different and unlike anything anyone's ever seen.
Yeah.
How?
Do you think they're going to do more like a kind of rock, like what Muse do with the big video screens, instead of the back, the drapes, the backdrops, and have like a big video screen? Like sort of they've got at the moment with the sides, haven't they? They've got the 2 video screens at the sides with the eddies on, but the whole of the back of it behind Nico is a whole like video screen thing going on with the history and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's that's very, very possible, especially given a lot of the shows. I'd say half the shows in Europe are stadiums, and that gives them the room to be able to do that, to do a really big show. I heard someone say, could they do something like Rammstein and have these big elaborate shows? I don't know.
Or Metallica. Metallica are good at showing a lot of stuff from over their career with fans and concerts and stuff like that. Right, so they let's say they play Phantom of the Opera. We see some footage from back then, and they move their way up through the years.
A lot of the big bands are doing it now, aren't they? With the technology that's around nowadays, using the LED video screens behind them and going through, and it's quite elaborate. Now, I'm watching, I think it was Paul McCartney when he did Glastonbury every year, and it was amazing. His stage show was amazing. When he did it, a certain Beatles song, things would come up about that and that era and whatever. I'd like to see them lean towards that kind of production. I think today's technology, they could do it.
Well, look, Steve Harris is a very grounded, humble person. He doesn't say things out of place. So for him to come out and make a statement publicly that this next stage show for next year is going to be, very different and a departure. I think if I'm not mistaken, the terminology used was a departure from what they've normally done. I think, Paul, what you're saying has some merit. We've got to wait 9 months to see it. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
But hey, 9 months is going to go quick. Wow, it's going to go real quick. 9 months is not a long time. It's going to go quick. I think they're going to smash out the next, I suppose, 6 weeks left of this tour, and I think they're going to have obviously they'll have a break, but they're going to really get to work on 2025. So it's going to be great. It's going to be
yeah. You would have thought that 75% of next year's already sorted out anyway. Of what they're, because the amount of time they plan ahead, so they know what the set, what the production's going to be like, probably already, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've all known that over decades that they always plan things 2-3 years in advance. Sure, the COVID obviously put a spanner in the works, and they had to rethink things a little bit. But there's no question, given what we know about the way they operate, they would have had. They've got everything details planned.
Yeah.
I think Steve even said in that interview recently, he's waiting to see the designs and whatnot. So clearly things are happening.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So, but let's talk about the present in 2024. So Rasmus, you got on an Emirates A380 from Copenhagen to Dubai to Sydney.
Yeah.
And so you saw both Sydney shows and Auckland, right?
Yep.
Why the three? Why the three? Come all the way there.
Well, I have never seen Maiden in New Zealand, so when I saw they announced it, was like, okay, it's my time to go there, and I wanted to get a ticket for that show, and well, somebody said to me, you're not traveling all the way to New Zealand to see one gig, and I was like, sure I am. And they said, well, that's just stupid. So I got tickets for Sydney too, just as a warm up to New Zealand.
Was this person a fan who told you that?
Yeah, it's my better half, and she and she said she has seen Maiden many times, but she was like, no, I'm not going to travel all the way down there just to see 3 shows and fly home. So she wanted to travel more around if we did a trip like this. I was like, hey, I'm not traveling to see anything other than Iron Maiden. Not on this trip anyway. So
3 shows is nothing to poke a stick at. I mean, 3 shows is 3 shows. It's more than 2. You know, it's a decent amount of shows.
3 shows more than I did.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I travelled a few years ago and I saw 4. So and next year I'm seeing 4. So 3 is actually worth it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but hey, I was happy. It was great being on tour again, and as you say, because it's an amazing set list and show. So and seeing all the traveling fans again, and a lot of people I've not seen in Australia since 2008. So that was really really nice to see those people again.
I think for me, last year and this year's been particularly special because back in 1987, when I was expecting the Somewhere on Tour to come to Australia, because it was in their tour book, and I was very excited about it, and then they didn't come. So you know, one of my favourite albums, you know, to not see it back in '87 was very disappointing. So I think for me, this was just an opportunity to just go nuts, actually, go mental and see it as much as I could, because honestly, I genuinely don't think we'll hear a lot of the songs off there ever. They may keep Alexander, but actually I was going to say, Greece is not going to get a chance to hear Alexander at all. That's one out of the box. That's surprising.
I think it's only hardcore fans that think, oh, it would be great to see Somewhere Back in Time 2 in Egypt, and we want to hear Alexander the Great in Greece, and it's, come on, we get to hear HSI in the UK, so.
Yeah, true. True.
It's okay.
So what did you think of Auckland? Because I think when I saw you, Rasmus, in I can't remember, was it Auckland? We were talking. You showed me a little diagram you'd made because you're very good with IT. You made a little disc, and it had all the different flags of the world, and you showed me what countries you'd seen me. You'd seen me at that point 43 countries. So New Zealand was 44, right?
Yeah.
So what was it? Did it live up to what you wanted? Did it live up
to very much, actually, because I was a little bit disappointed in Sydney that after 8 years that the fans was not more into the band, actually.
Yes.
I was actually shocked. I was thinking, after 8 years they would go mental, but they were not. It was just, it was okay, but it was not it was not one of those gigs where you go like, wow.
No.
But Auckland was. I must say they lived up to it. So that was really really nice.
I want to back you up on that actually. As an Australian, I thought after not having the band for 8 years and how well the shows had sold, I thought the crowds would have been wild. They weren't. They were actually quite. I mean, Perth is always going to be quiet. They just are.
Yeah.
Adelaide, they're a fairly relaxed sort of relaxed place. It's a relaxed city. People are very calm. I honestly thought Melbourne and Sydney would have gone off, and other than maybe Melbourne Night 2, Melbourne Night 2 was okay. It was pretty good. It was pretty lively. The rest of the Melbourne Night 1 and both Sydney shows I thought were pretty quiet. And just like you, Raz, I mean, I'd seen them in Sydney in 2008, 2016, and a very, very lively crowd. They were very subdued both nights. So I think one night's probably coincidence, 2 nights not. I don't know. I don't know whether the last 4 years has kind of, I don't know, demoralised a lot of people in this country. I don't know. But yeah, it was very quiet. Auckland, on the other hand, my goodness, it was just from the moment the band came on, the crowd just went mental. They were just great show, great little arena, good sound. They were great, and Auckland's a nice city as well, isn't it, Rasmus?
We had some great days there until like, what was it, an hour before the show, and it started raining. So everybody outside the venue queuing up was soaked. So,
yeah.
But hey, I got to work for Iron Maiden, breaking the law, because I remember when I was getting the visa, it was like I was not supposed to work when I was in New Zealand, and I did.
That's great. Well, that's country number 44. So where are you off to next, Rasmus?
Colombia.
When's that?
In November.
Oh wow! Oh, so after the US, that's right, because they're doing 18 shows in the US, and then off to South America. So that'll be crazy. Now, Rasmus, there's going to be people watching and looking at your shirt and saying, "What is that shirt?" So most people who saw the tour last year will not know what that shirt was. Will not know what that shirt is, but we saw it at every show in Australia and New Zealand. I don't know if it's happening in the US, but
it is. But it's a new shirt. They get a different shirt over there.
Oh, well, tell us about it.
So it's rare already.
Now I know. Well, walking into the arenas, I saw a couple of your mates from Europe. They're all from Europe. Hardly any Australians wearing that shirt and giving out these cards. So do you want to tell everyone? Yes. Do you want to just hold that a bit closer? And that's it. Tell everyone about these cards. Now, what were these cards, and what were you doing?
Well, it's the first time I saw it was at a Metallica gig this summer in Copenhagen. There was these two guys handing out Metallica cards to everybody who went into the venue, and we were like, "What's that?" Well, it's a competition. So you just scan it and see if you win. And you can win set list or drumsticks or blah, blah. Anything, really. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool souvenir. And I wish Maiden would do something like this. So I'm watching the show from Perth and what people are writing about it. And I think it was Tom from the Iron Maiden fan club who wrote that they're doing this really cool thing, and they have some really nice shirts. And everybody was like, oh, that could be cool to get a shirt like that. And I think after Perth, they played the
Adelaide.
And I think it was there Tom got the chance. If he wanted to work for the guys, handing out these cards, he would get a shirt. So he got one with Martin's wife, I think. And then it just took off from there because somebody knew somebody we could talk to, and I got the chance with Martin in New Zealand to work for a couple of hours, handing out these cards to a lot of great Iron Maiden fans. It was cool because for us it was just fun. It was not really work because we were just talking with Iron Maiden fans, giving them cool souvenirs, and some lucky people actually won stuff. So it's hey, it was win-win for everybody. And the guys who works with them, they were like, you fans are really, really mad. You think it's just fun and games. And we were like, yeah, it's cool. It's super cool. But they didn't do it in Japan. And we were like, oh, will they do it in the US because it's a cool thing? And I just saw yesterday they're doing it. They have a new shirt, a different shirt. It's still red with white letters, but it has some other writings on it. So some other lucky fans or whatever will get the chance to get a nice shirt.
Speaking of Japan, I saw on eBay today the postergram, the Japanese postergram with the obi. It's sold for
and Japanese lyrics.
$122. $122 on an eBay auction, which was sold last week at the merch stand for a lot cheaper than that. It's insane how in demand Japanese merch is. It's crazy.
Yeah. What do we think about? I could be, because I know you don't like the shirt that you got me that I'm wearing. What do we think of the t-shirts, the designs so far?
I'll stay out of this one.
I see a lot of people complaining that Eddie's too cartoonish and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what do we have? Over 1,000 different Iron Maiden Eddie t-shirts now. Different designs. Come on. If you don't like them, buy some of the others.
Exactly.
There's so many to choose from.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Yeah.
And going after Herb for really trying, he has produced hundreds of designs for Maiden already. And it's like, come on, what can he do? He gets, a week, 14 days to come up with a new design. Yeah, I think he actually puts a lot of fun stuff in them.
Yeah, but it's also, he's getting direction from management of what to do.
Yeah.
This is what we want. Yeah.
I was just amazed when they get a Las Vegas shirt yesterday.
What? Sorry?
There was no Las Vegas t-shirt this year.
No. So it was a California one the other day, wasn't it? It's a generic USA one.
Yeah, but the other one don't have Las Vegas on the back, so it's like, that's strange. I was sure there would be one. Maybe the printers were not in time, and we have seen that before. Was that in Australia?
I don't know. Look, they are fun. The event shirts are a lot of fun. I'll 100% admit to that. I mean, the one you're wearing, Paul, which came right from the merch stand at the Adelaide show, and posted from Adelaide to you. Yeah. So I mean, it's fun, and it is very Australian. I mean, Eddie's wearing the green and gold, which is the sporting colours of the country. There's, Great White Shark, which is so synonymous with this country. There's, sort of
Bruce.
Bruce, exactly. And, the New Zealand shirt was unique, and that's fine, I get it, but there's a reason I'm wearing this. Okay, so...
I thought the Japanese shirt was quite good as well. I thought the Japanese shirt was quite good.
The Japanese shirt was great. The Australian crab ended up basically being cut up and fed to the band. The ideas are fun. The ideas are great. Look, Herv does a great job. Yeah, let's give credit where credit's due. Some people love it. Some people, like me, prefer the old style. But I'm just stuck in the 80s, I suppose. That's just me.
But they have like 10 shirts to choose from, right? Some of the old designs, some new designs.
Exactly.
And it's... Of course, if you are local, you can come up with better ideas because you're local, you know the country, what is this place most famous for. Oh, Herb should do this or this or this. But in the end, hey, I think people should be happy if they get an event t-shirt for their country. It's just it's just a plus.
Yeah, I think we were all expecting the Aussie shirt to be the Mad Max. And it wasn't.
Yeah, and hoping a little bit too, because it was a great idea, right?
Could be the 2026 shirt, couldn't it?
Well,
let's start that rumor. That's cool.
Yeah, well, they'll be here again in 2026, and hopefully so will both you guys. So, be good to see you.
You never know.
I actually, in my hometown show of Melbourne, I went and I asked for one of those T-shirts that you're wearing, Raz, and they said, well, you need to volunteer and work, but I was too lazy to do it, so I declined and... Therefore, you were wearing the T-shirt and I'm not. So, fair play to them.
A lot of people said to me, "Oh, you don't want to work for it." I was like, "Sure, but it's not really work. Handing out Iron Maiden stuff, it's
Yeah. I should have done it, but I was, lazy. it's
We're on
funny.
the next tour.
But when you're at home, it's you just get lazy. I don't know. It's when you're away on holidays, you're a bit more wired up. So anyway, is that pretty much it, guys? Is that?
Nope, it's not.
Nope.
No. He's got his beer cans.
Oh, the beer cans.
How lucky are you guys? Again, don't complain. Maybe they didn't taste good, but you got them. More for the collection. You can only get them in Australia. Come on.
I don't drink though, Raz. I want them to make tea. I want them to bring out an Iron Maiden tea.
In time.
But these were great. These were. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are collector's tickets. They just look beautiful, and they said they've got the hologram.
Yeah.
They're just beautiful. I just love the artwork on this tour. The pink and the purple and the blue and the white. It's just beautiful. The Eddie looks amazing. And these collector's tickets had the venue and the date behind it. So they were very collectible, quite attractive actually. And the lanyards that came with it were actually very different to the lanyards that were sold at the merch stand. So they did some nice things on this tour. They did some really beautiful things, and
some
had
stuff that they can take forward for next year as well.
Absolutely.
A special Japanese beer coaster or drink coaster. If you bought some lemonade drink in the Japan gigs, you could get this really rare coaster with that artwork and a little bit of Japanese writing in it, and that would be the really rare Japanese stuff from this tour to collect.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh, I thought there's a stupid question.
I messaged Rasmus a few days ago and I said, "Do you have the shirt from the Japanese tour?" And he ruffled off a whole list of Japanese merch. He's pretty much got all of it. So, but no, it's great. Japanese merch is great. I collect a bit myself, but more the vintage stuff. So.
Yeah.
Let's well, there's as I said, there's 5.5, 6 weeks. There's who knows, still another 1 or 2 shows in it potentially. But Rasmus, you're going to Colombia.
And you're going to
hopefully Montreal, Quebec City. Hopefully, I don't know. I need to coordinate a couple of things.
But it's so close for you. It's just a small flight, right?
It's very small. It's something like a 31-hour flight. Why not? Yeah, yeah. We'll see. I'll have to check the Singapore Airlines frequent flight. Actually, I was reading, because of the Middle East crisis right now, is a lot of the flights going from Australia to Europe are having delays because the airspaces are closed over Russia, Ukraine, Iran, and part of the Middle East. So they're having to divert a lot. Flights are taking longer, and so more expensive. But I would probably go eastwards, direct to Vancouver and up that way. That's nice, peaceful airspace. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'll let you know what I do if I do.
Are you going to London next year?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay, so we will actually have a good chance, everybody, to meet up in Rio.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely. Yeah, for me it'll be London, Lisbon, Zurich and Italy. I've always wanted to see them in Italy, and after the Bologna debacle of 2022, I'm hoping this one actually happens. So yes. But yes, all of us will meet in London.
I'm just saying, let's not meet up at the Cart and Horses the day before I'm in place.
It's going to be rammed at that place before.
It would be insane.
Anywhere near the bar.
I think so too. Castro really has to think about how he will do this, because it would be insane.
It'll be the FTTB when it first to the bar.
Yeah.
Queuing up the day before.
Yeah, I think he actually has to sell tickets to get people in so he can close the door, because it would be.
No, I think next year in London we definitely need to get together and actually record a show from there. So.
It's
something that's going to have to happen.
We could have a working show.
Someone.
Castro, couldn't we?
Castro lives.
There's no room for him in the bar anyway, so...
You've got downstairs, haven't you? Where all the bands play.
That's right, yes.
Where we do the fan club stuff.
No reason why we can't record a nice little short episode there. So
who you're not going to Budapest then?
Me?
Yes,
No, I can't go.
Is Rasmus, you going to Budapest?
Oh.
I'll see you there.
Oh, beautiful. You're going
probably at the merchandise booth before the gig, so it's I will be there a day or two before, so it's
yeah,
it will be fun. It'll be crazy.
I envy you both because Budapest is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and what a great place to see.
Never been there before, so
beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
But no doubt we'll be talking a lot more about next year as things happen. So yeah, it's just going to be a ever evolving saga that next year. So
because a lot of stuff is going on, right?
Yeah,
something will happen, and
yeah.
So we got 2026. Well, then we've got 2026. We can speculate about as well.
Oh yeah.
So
2026.
We've not even talked about that yet, have we? So there you go.
I think 2026 will be.
We
didn't talk about the Netflix on.
Oh jeez.
Well.
Netflix, yeah.
I was laughing so hard when people start writing me. Oh, you know about this? I was like, okay, look at the site. People didn't even look at the site. They just posted, oh, Netflix is out with this big thing. I was like, okay, but just looking at the site, you could see it was fake news. So it's like.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake news. I saw something get posted the other day that Paul Di'Anno is joining the band.
I saw that.
Did you see that? I mean, the amount of we don't swear on this show much, but the amount of bullshit that gets posted on is staggering. I mean, we won't talk any more about Paul Di'Anno, but I don't think he'll be joining the band anytime soon. So I think he's got his own solo career, and good on him, and he's touring and loving life, but he will not be joining Iron Maiden. So anyway.
If that happened, I would be shocked. But hey,
well,
of course, never
just
say never.
Be careful what you read online, everyone, because
exactly. Yeah.
All right, I got to be up at 5 a.m. for work, so I'm gonna bid farewell and check this recording. So thank you, everyone. Good to see you all again.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
And we'll see you very soon again on the next one.
Hopefully, and we'll get the Irishman on as well.
I'll have to. Take care, guys.
And you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.